Good afternoon, good morning, folks. This is Danny with Danny's Luxury Cruise Vacations. We're an independent affiliate of the Avoya Travel Network. And today we have the honor of talking with Mary Lee from Viking Cruises. Viking does ocean cruises, river cruises, expedition cruises, an absolutely terrific company. And we're going to learn a little bit about what makes them wonderful and where you can go. Mary Lee, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Danny, for having me. This is where always excited to see you, Danny, and we just have a great relationship and really excited to share all things Viking with your clients.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, as I just mentioned, Viking has three different brands, if I may put it that way: Ocean, River, and Expedition. What can you tell the viewers about the different brands and what to experience from each brand?
So this is where it's going to be the one brand, Viking, but this is where we have different types of cruising. So think of it that way, right? This is where if you think of Viking as your gateway to the world, spanning every continent, every kind of waterway imaginable, from your rivers to your oceans to your Great Lakes. And as you touched upon, right, this is where we do river cruising, ocean cruising, and expedition cruising. So pretty much, I think a lot of folks know Viking when it comes to river, because we are the world's leading river cruise company. We are the trailblazers when it comes to river cruising. And then with the launch of our ocean fleet, that's where we've also become the leader in small ship ocean cruising as well. So really excited that for the fifth year in a row, Danny, Condé Nast Traveler Reader's Choice Awards just awarded five years now, number one river, number one ocean, Viking. USA Today Reader's Choice Awards just gave us number one river, number one ocean again. And so this is where when we launched our expedition voyages, I know when we think of expedition, certainly Viking doesn't come top of mind, but we are doing really well in the expedition market as well. So think if your dream is to go see the penguins, to go see the exotic remote destinations like Antarctica, Arctic Circle, that's when you'll use our expedition ships. But really, I think a lot of folks don't know this, is that you don't have to go to these really far away places to enjoy our expedition ships, because we have all the toys on board. We'll have the kayaks, the zodiacs, the submarines. Those are the same ships we'll use for our own beautiful country when we experience the Great Lakes.
Perfect, perfect. Having said that, is there a perfect, well, perfect might not be the right word, but a specific demographic? If I'm not mistaken, I know no children, so everybody has to be, if I'm correct, 18 plus on your
Oh
ship.
yeah, that's a big one, right? And this is where whenever I present about Viking, I get lots of applause there because it's a certain demographic that we cater to. And when we built and designed our ships, this is where, and including our experiences, we always know who our guest is, right? Who the Viking guest is. And this is where our typical guest is 55 plus. They're English speaking, they're well educated, they're affluent, they're curious and active travelers who want to learn more about history, culture, and music. That's why we don't have casinos on our ships, Danny. We're just not that kind of cruise line. And this is where absolutely adult only, so everyone's 18 and above. So it really caters towards a very certain demographic, and they love Viking. They really do. We have lots of repeat guests, and that's why we have a problem. It's not a terrible problem, but we do have a problem. Our ships sell out very quickly.
Well, let me get
So
the violin out.
so this is where, whether it's river, ocean, expedition, 2026, we do have some stuff available. So this is where if you want to do quiet season, the Mediterranean area on our ocean voyages, that's where you're going to find some great value, by the way. So a little insider tip. So that's where you'll find great value for the 2026 quiet season Western Med area. But other than that, and you might have some river stuff, but we're looking ahead to 2027, 2028, 2029. I can't believe it. We're going to even launch 2030
Oh,
dates soon.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Plan ahead. And that's who our Viking guests are. They typically will have one or two cruises every year. And they know to work with their valued travel advisors like you, Danny, because you can get them great deals, great promotions.
And the beautiful thing, like you touched upon a few moments ago, it's not like you're coming to Viking for ocean, but now you want river and you have to go somewhere else. Once in a
Correct.
while.
This is one-stop shopping, right? And this is where, whether it's river, ocean, expedition, and I'm going to throw out some other rivers like the Mississippi River. This is where we're starting to see some folks who, let's say, they don't want to travel too far, or maybe what's going on in the world right now geopolitically, they just want to stay closer to home. This is where Mississippi River, Canada. When it comes to our ocean, we do Canada as well. I'm not Canada, sorry, Alaska. It's been a long day, Danny. We do Alaska, and our Alaska itinerary just got best Alaska. I think it was Cruise Critic that gave us that award, which is shocking. Once again, when we think of Alaska, we don't think of maybe Viking, but you have to keep in mind we're small ships. So whether it's river, it's under 190 guests, ocean under 1,000, and expedition under 400. The small ships really important because that means you can spend more time at port and going to all these little smaller ports and less days at sea.
And what a lot of people don't realize, you and I do, but there's something, yes, the large ships, if you're looking for, the ship as the destination with the entertainment and all of that at night, great. But if you're looking for the experience, getting off the ship and seeing the Norwegian fjords or going to the Mediterranean, you don't want long lines. You don't want to wait to get back on the ship for lunch. You want to come back, get on, go for lunch, and then maybe get back off the ship in the afternoon. No line, it's beautiful.
Absolutely. And you hit the nail on the head of why Viking is Viking. And we are known as the cruise line that's all about the destination, right? This is where we have our beautiful ships. They're absolutely stunning. This is where we like to say we're understated elegance. We don't want you to feel like you have to get super dressed up. We say country club casual. But this is where the ships, as lovely as they are, we know why you're traveling. And you're traveling to go visit these wonderful locations, these wonderful countries, and meeting the locals. And that's why our experiences, whether it's on board through our destination lectures, our performances, the food that we feature, it's going to be highlighting the places you're visiting. And so absolutely everything we do designed around that concept.
Beautiful, beautiful. Having said that, and the wonderful experiences we know you provide the guest, can you share if everything is included or what's included, what's not included? Maybe touch on that, please.
Great question. This is where we don't believe in nickel and diming, but we also want you to feel like you're curating your own trip. So you'll get one included shore excursion at every port of call. Okay. So whether it's river, ocean, or expedition. And then this is where then you could choose to customize the rest of your day, whether it's through optional shore excursions or whether it's you want to just choose your own adventure, right? Some of you like to hit the pavement and wander Budapest on your own. And that's where I want to pause here. Speaking of Budapest, one of our most popular itineraries there, which is the Romantic Danube, is that in Europe, earlier I had mentioned, we dominate the river cruise market. And because of that, we own most of the ports, the docks there in Europe. So it makes a big difference there when you can come in and you have optimal positioning and you truly get off the ship and you're in the heart of that city, right? To explore on your own. So this is where one included shore excursion at every port of call. Of course, you can then customize the rest of your day, whether it's with us or whether you want to do it on your own. This is where you'll get included beer and wine at every meal. And this is where some of you, you're perfectly happy with just that beer and wine, right? This is where some of you might choose to upgrade. We do offer the Silver Spirits Bev package. So that's where you'll get your premium beer and wine and spirits. And it's only a mere $27 a day. Remember, Viking, this is where we're also known for value. We know you want the finer things in life, but you also want at a great price point. So $27 a day. And this is absolutely where also we encourage you to bring your own bottles of wine, whether you're going to, countries like Italy, Croatia, Spain. This is where we have no corkage fee. Some other cruise lines do have corkage fees. So we want you to bring whatever you pick up there and we'll happily serve it at dinner or on your veranda or wherever that might be. And this is where Wi-Fi is included. And that's a big one there. And we have great Wi-Fi. Yeah, great Wi-Fi. So lots of inclusions there. The movies, I know it's all these little things, right? But the movies that you watch in your stateroom, which I'm sure a lot of you won't be spending too much time in your stateroom because we have so many public spaces where a lot of you make new friends. I end up seeing you playing, making new friends and playing games, and it's wonderful. All our public spaces. But if you choose to have some downtime in your stateroom, that's all included as well, right?
Yep.
The water, all of that stuff. So no nickel and diming when it comes to Viking.
And I love the fact when you said about the beverage package, $27 a day. If you get 2 glasses of wine right
Yeah,
there, that covers it.
it covers it, right? Absolutely. And I'm here in California, in Southern California, Danny, and that's like 1 or 2 drinks here in
That's right.
San Diego.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Yep.
Well, you touched a moment ago on my next question about the age, like 55 and above.
Yeah.
That is a sophisticated market. People are comfortable. They're empty nesters. They have a higher income and more time to travel. So that's absolutely perfect for people of that
Yep.
demographic.
Yep.
Absolutely beautiful. Um, we know the answer to this, but the general public may not know it, and I get caught up with this all the time. When is the best time to book a Viking cruise? As you and I know, there's a mindset of waiting to the last minute.
Right. And earlier I touched upon, right? We have a problem, Danny. Not a terrible problem, but we sell out. So this is where, if you can, ideally you want to plan as far in advance as possible, right? But this is where, sometimes you do have some good deals in the sense of, as I mentioned, the quiet season med. However, this is where at Viking we sell top down. Okay. So this is where if you want the bigger staterooms, if you want the Explorer suite, if you want that owner suite, those go very quickly. And this is where other cruise lines, they don't sell top down. So if you have a particular stateroom category, if there's a particular season, that's where they want to meet with you as soon as possible. And and this is where I'm going to use India as an example. So last year we launched our India river itinerary, and it's a river land combo. Okay, it's our first time that we have gone to India. So it's the Brahmaputra River, not the Ganges River. So Brahmaputra River, and then River Cruise. And then there's an extension there that's all included where you get to go to the Golden Triangle. So you get to see the Taj Mahal. I've been to India. You have to see the Taj Mahal with your own eyes. Yeah. One of the most beautiful, just absolutely stunning buildings. But this is where 1 year's worth of sailing sold out in about 72 hours.
Wow.
Okay.
That's amazing.
So that kind of shows you the power of Viking in the sense of how loyal our guests are. A lot of them they just stick with Viking because, as he's mentioned earlier, river, ocean, expedition, we do it all. And they know and trust and love the Viking brand. So we were a little bit shocked and surprised that it went so fast, but really not, right? And this is where, of course, with our other itineraries, you don't have to jump on it that quick because India was just brand new. I think everyone, wanted to experience it for the ones who wanted to go to India. But this is where, if you can, just start planning ahead. It's only a $25 deposit, right? Mm-hmm. Go ahead and lock in the date that you want, the itinerary that you want, the stateroom category that you want, and especially the promotions. The promotions, we have some great promotions going on now. This is where, Danny, our partnership here, we're here to help your clients get the best deal. Yeah. And this is where there's some great value that you can have right now, especially because we're celebrating our 250th birthday here. And so we have some I think one of them is like a $250 shipboard credit on select sailings. Yeah. And that's where start planning now. Start, once again, $25 deposit per person. Go ahead and lock in your next Viking voyage.
Beautiful, beautiful. That's a lot of great information, Mary Lee. I'd like my last question for you is if there is anything else you would like to share with the people that are going to watch this video that I didn't think about maybe asking that question. Is there anything that you would like to share that, that we didn't touch on?
Yeah, so this is where I want to share some of our popular itineraries. And when it comes to river, of course, Europe, right? This is where we know our folks. Europe is still somewhere that where a lot of folks want to go. So the Rhine, the Rhine Getaway, Romantic Danube, so two of the most popular European river cruises. However, if you're going to go all the way to Europe, you might as well go big. So we have our 15-day, so that both of the ones I mentioned, the Rhine and the Danube, are 8 days. But if you're going to go all the way to Europe, might as well maximize your time. So you might look at the 15-day Grand European. So that combines the Rhine, the Main, and the Danube. Christmas markets, right? I know it's hard to believe we're already here in the middle of June, but Christmas market's always a magical time to be in Europe. This is where we do Paris to the heart of Normandy. We have the Lyon and Provence, Portugal, so many amazing European rivers. And then I'm going to throw out the Nile. The Nile is our third best-selling itinerary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so I had folks who just came back, of course initially they were a little bit apprehensive, but they said it was the best trip ever. Okay, so when it comes to ocean, some of our popular itineraries includes the British Isles Explorer. So that goes to countries like England, Ireland, Scotland. And this is where we know that a lot of Americans' ancestry coming from those countries. So it's always nice to go visit those areas. And that has a great extension, the Highclere Castle. So my Downton Abbey fans, y'all know who you are. That is what we call a privileged access experience. So this is where it's only for Viking guests that get to visit Highclere Castle, which is where they filmed Downton Abbey. So the royal family still lives there. It's a wonderful partnership we have with them. Another popular one, of course, I mentioned the Mediterranean. So anytime you can go to Italy, Croatia, Greece, Southern Europe, that's always very, very popular. And along with our Scandinavian countries, okay? So we have a fantastic Viking homeland. So if you're wanting to go up to that area, and then concluding with expedition, of course, Antarctica, right? So Antarctica, Arctic Circle, but keeping in mind those expedition ships we also use to sail the Great Lakes.
Beautiful. Mary Lee, thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. We appreciate you, Danny, so much.
Likewise.
And thank you for great care of your clients.
Oh, it's my pleasure. And thank you for your support.
Cheers.